We live in a world that is obsessed with desire. We are constantly being told to follow our hearts, to chase our dreams, to get what we want. And we have a whole industry of self-help books and life coaches to help us do it. But what if this relentless pursuit of our own desires is actually making us miserable? What if the very thing we think will bring us happiness is the source of our discontent? We are like a dog chasing its own tail, and we are getting dizzy. In the next few minutes, we are going to look at an ancient psalm that offers a radically different approach to desire. It's a psalm that turns our modern assumptions on their head and points us to a different way of living, a way that leads not to the frustration of endless chasing, but to the deep and lasting joy of a fulfilled life. By the end of our time, you will have a new framework for understanding your desires and a practical way to align your heart with God's good purposes. In Psalm 37, we find this extraordinary statement: "Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." Now, we often read this as a kind of formula. If I do my bit, delight in God, then God will do His bit, give me what I want. But that's to misunderstand the whole dynamic. The Hebrew word for delight here is anag. It means to be soft, to be pliable. It's the idea of finding your deepest pleasure and satisfaction in God Himself. So, how do we cultivate this kind of delight? It starts with a conscious choice to shift our focus. Instead of focusing on what we want from God, we focus on God Himself. We spend time in His presence, in His Word, in prayer. We ask Him to show us more of His beauty, His goodness, His love. And as we do, something remarkable happens. Our desires begin to change. We start to want the things that God wants. Our hearts become aligned with His. This is what the New Testament is all about. It's about the transformation of our desires. Paul says in Romans 12, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind." This renewal is not just about thinking different thoughts. It's about wanting different things. It's about our hearts being retuned to the key of God's kingdom. And when our desires are aligned with God's, then the promise of Psalm 37 becomes a beautiful reality. He gives us the desires of our heart because our desires have become His desires. Here's a practical way to live this out. The next time you find yourself wanting something, a promotion, a relationship, a new car, I want you to pause and ask yourself this question: how does this desire fit into God's larger story? How can this desire be used for His glory? This simple question can help you to see your desires in a new light and to begin the process of aligning your heart with God's. The world will tell you that happiness is found in getting what you want, but the gospel tells us that true and lasting joy is found in wanting what God wants. When we delight ourselves in Him, we are set free from the tyranny of our own selfish desires. We are free to live for something bigger than ourselves. We are free to be part of His great story of redemption. And that is a desire that will never disappoint. If you want to learn more about how to live a life of purpose and joy, subscribe to this channel. Let's journey together.